Supraja is then going to attempt her CC9 persuade with say power. Her speech objectives are persuade listeners to adopt to your viewpoint or ideas to take some action, appeal to the audience interest, use logic and emotion to support your view. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 say minutes. All the best.
Force of gravity on the object, Toastmaster Supraja. Force of gravity on the object, Toastmaster Supraja.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Scene 1. Once upon a time, there were two monks, a student monk and a master monk. They both went on a journey to visit a convent. Like the every other monks, these two monks also walked for a long distance, but spoke very little. On their travel, on the third day of their journey, they came across a river, a fast-flowing river. There was a beautiful girl sitting across the river bank in a beautiful dress. As soon as the woman saw the monk, she got up and rushed towards them in total excitement. The woman pleaded the master monk, "Please, can you please lift me to the other side of the river? I am on my way to meet my loved one, and I can't ruin my dress because it is the only dress I have." The student monk was shocked at her audacity, and he started to think, "Our master is a holy man, and if she touches him, he would become unclean." Before he could speak out his thoughts, the master monk agreed to lift the women. He lifted the women, pushing away all the flow current and the wind, and he walked across the river and he carefully dropped her again across the river. The women thanked the monk again and again, and she was in extreme joy. And both of the monks started their journey. They walked days after day with silence. On the third day, the student monk had a question in his mind, and he could no longer control it, and he uttered, "Master, why did you carry that woman across the river?" To this, the monk replied, "You have learnt much, but you haven't gained the required wisdom, my student. The woman was weighing on my back only for 3 minutes, and I was done. But she was weighing on your thoughts for 3 long days." Scene 2. Like Krishnamurti said, once a psychological professor was walking around the stage lecturing about stress management principle to a group of audience. Mostly they were students. She lifted a glass of water. Everyone in the hall thought she's going to utter the same dialogue. Is this glass half full or half empty? But surprisingly, the women smiled and asked the crowd, "Can anybody guess how heavy is this glass of water I'm holding?" She received answers ranging from 8 ounces to a couple pounds. To this she replied, "From my perspective, the absolute weight of glass does not matter. What matters the most is how long I'm holding it. If I'm going to hold this glass for a minute or two, my arm is not going to ache. It's going to be fine. If I'm going to hold this glass for an hour straight, my arm is going to slightly ache. If I'm going to hold this glass for a day long, I'm definite that my arm is going to get cramped, and there's even a possibility of it becoming numb and paralyzed, which will force me to drop the glass on the floor." Likewise, in all the cases, the weight of the glass did not vary. Only the time I holded it varied. Friends, from scene 1 and scene 2, we understand that we have to let go of our past mistakes, stress, and worries. But the real question is, are we letting it go? We all know the 36-year-old Bollywood actor Sushant Singh Rajput committed suicide. Every one of us were depressed of his demise. We couldn't even think what the reason would be for his demise. He had everything in this world. He had a car, he had a bungalow, he had money, he had fame, he had a girlfriend, he was giving successful movies and whatnot. But still, why did he take that decision? He was tightly holding on to the negative part of his life. Everyone's life is like a roller coaster ride, with full of ups and downs. But we only concentrate on our worries. It's so natural that if we keep thinking about our worries, it gets tangled up and locked up in our thoughts. Well, most of them drop their glass and continue the game of life, while others hold on to their glass firmly and quit the game. Friends, whenever you get suicidal thoughts, please don't consider it. The pain might feel permanent and overwhelming for that moment, but there are two ways to overcome those suicidal thoughts or the depressed feelings. Number one, promise yourself not to take any decision at that moment. Give some time between your thoughts and action. Point two, please feel free to share your depressed feelings or suicidal thoughts to your close ones or the trustable ones. It can be your family member, it can be your friend, it can be your life partner, or even a therapist. But please feel free to share. Never let your fear or embarrassment or shame prevent you from sharing your feelings. Friends, please do not hold your glass for a long time. It will definitely leave you paralyzed and numb. Please drop it as soon as possible. Are you still holding your glass of water, TMOD?
Definitely not, Supraja.